because
Dr. Oseidu there speaking, but right now we have to go quickly to the Tema port where President Akufo-Addo has just arrived and is speaking. This is part of the first day of his three-day tour of the Greater Accra region. Let's listen to him.
Country to mobilize to bring us to where we are today. We have a very proud past, but what will make that proud past count is if we have a prosperous and rich future. So I came today to come and say that the work that I'm doing, the work that my government is doing, the work that our nation is doing, depends so much on you. If you are able to meet our revenue targets, it means that we can then finance the expenditures that we need to do in our social sector, for our education, for our housing, for our health. It means that we will then also be able to invest in those parts of our economy that we need to invest in to grow our economy, our industry, our trade, our agriculture. So central and so important to the prospects of Ghana. And that's why I wanted to use this opportunity to come to speak to you and encourage you that together, if all of us have this attitude, that the time has come for us not to chop Ghana small, but to make Ghana great. If that is where we all of us are, we're going to build a Ghana that is going to be the wonder of the world. And then the world is going to see that, yes, there are Africans who are capable of doing it. So I want my government and you to be partners, sincere, active collaborators and partners, cooperating to build the Ghana of our dreams. My part is to try and help define and design the policy, but you are the people who are responsible for executing it. And if the execution is solid, Ghana is solid. Let God continue to bless you and encourage you to be able to give of your best to our country. I'm very, very, very happy today that I've come here to meet you. Thank you, and may God bless you all. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
His Excellency, thank you for your speech. We will now call the sector commander, Mr. Felix, who is the head of the collection, to also give us the closing remarks.
All right, so that is coming to you live from the Tema ports. Of course, the paperless ports, paperless under President Akufo-Addo. There you heard him sounding very elated. He says that Ghanaians who have worked very hard for this country, worked toward for this country to be what it is, should be proud. And we should make them proud, as in we, the people of Ghana. But then he's specifically speaking to the people who work at the port, asking them to make those who have worked hard toward, for this country to be proud of them. He says that the work that his government is doing depends so much on the people who work at the port, because theirs is to make sure that they reach their revenue targets. Now, when we reach our revenue targets, government is then able to invest this revenue into the relevant sectors and the sectors that makes this nation develop. He speaks about education, which is of course very important. We've just been talking about the free SHS, for example, and all the problems that these children, these students are being confronted with. Certainly we need money to be invested there. He speaks also about health, about agriculture, about trade and industry, etc. Bottom line, we need to raise the money, and the port is one of the greatest places for us to be able to raise that money. He says that their work is important to Ghana's success, and that he is there to encourage them, for them to realize that the time is now to make Ghana greater rather than chopping Ghana's money. You heard him there. He also says that he wants his government and the people working at the port to be partners, sincere partners who will be able to collaborate to build the country. He's asking them to realize that it is their responsibility to execute the policies that his government formulates, and that when the execution is done properly, everybody will be happy, and perhaps we'll be able to reach all of the targets, the monies that we need to invest in the various sectors. We will be. He's obviously very happy to be there. We'll see where next he moves to. Like we said, the president is on a 3-day tour of the Greater Accra region. We'll see how that goes as well. And away from the president, just so you know, we'll be getting back to him as and when he is making any speech at any point in his tour. But for now, the mother of an 18-year-old girl who was raped and hanged by a family friend is calling for justice. The GHS girl had gone to visit one of her sisters at Ascension. So when one Sir Ebenezer allegedly called to send her, she was dragged into a room and brutally raped. The suspect, after the act, tightened a rope around her neck to kill her, but she survived the incident. Days after the horrifying experience, police in the central region have yet to apprehend the suspect, a situation the mother of the girl describes as worrying. Before we hear her, though, let's listen to the victim narrating her ordeal.
Friday was 2 weeks ago. I went to Chinsu in the evening. I was at my sister's place where she sells eggs. Sir Ebenezer called me to buy something for him. Whilst collecting the money, he dragged me into the room, tore my dress, and had sex with me. I took my phone to call my mom to report what had happened. He took the phone and destroyed it. I told him to let me go home and report to my mother. He told me he will not allow me. He tied me with the rope and hanged me. He slapped me and I fell from the top. I hit my head on the ground and fell unconscious. I was screaming, but nobody heard me because his radio was loud. I did not eat from Friday to Saturday. I feel very bad. I usually don't know what will happen next to me. I think he has ruined my life and I cannot realize my dreams.
All right, the mother of the victim is calling for justice to be served.
For someone who has committed such a grievous act, it is worrying that he's yet to be arrested. We have not heard anything. By God's grace, she is fine. But when the weather is hot, she complains of dizziness and headache. I am calling on government to help the police officers arrest the suspect for him to be punished. When the family came here to beg for us not to pursue the matter, and we disagreed, they have since not come here.
That is mother of the victim there. Very horrifying story, I must say. So don't forget to join the multimedia group's campaign to get justice for all victims of sexual abuse by using the hashtag #JusticeForKids on all of social media platforms. I'm going to take a very quick break. You're still watching The Pulse with me, Gifty, and here. When we return, we'll find out from the spokesperson for former President John Akufo-Addo how come they got to benefit from some kind of redevelopment process, how they benefited from state lands actually as part of that Mr. Mewu has started about the fact that some lands were given out like Kelewele. We'll be right back.